If you're a CEO, a founder, or government leader, you know the feeling, right? That high stakes pressure, the loneliness, the feeling that the crisis isn't just in the numbers, it's right here in your chest. Well, today we are diving deep into a framework for not just surviving that pressure, but building the kind of spiritual stamina that actually thrives when everything feels like it's on fire. Let's get into it. And here it is. This is the core problem, the one leaders feel deep down but almost never say out loud. You're expected to build resilience and strength in your team, in your company, in your entire organization. But on the inside, you are just exhausted. You've lost your peace, and maybe, if you're being honest, you feel like you're losing your way. This mismatch, well, it's completely unsustainable. So before we can talk about a solution, we have to name the enemy. And it's not your competitor, it's not the bad press, it's something called spiritual attrition. Just think about the prophet Elijah. Right after his single greatest victory, a massive win, a single threat sends him running for his life, hiding under a tree and literally praying to die. Does that feeling sound familiar at all? Now, it is so important to understand this. Spiritual attrition is not a moral failure. It's not a sign of weakness. It's actually a predictable, almost mathematical outcome. It's what happens when a leadership pace demands constant output. Decision after decision, crisis after crisis, without leaving any space for intake. Just look at this. This is the imbalance that leads directly to burnout. On one side, you've got the output column. That's your entire day, right? And on the other, the intake column. That's the stuff that always gets squeezed out first. When this goes on for too long, the leader becomes the single point of failure. And let's be blunt, if you break, the whole ship sinks. Okay. So how do we fix this? The answer isn't some weekend retreat or a fluffy self-help book. We need a battle plan. So right now, we're moving from diagnosis to a real, tangible, actionable strategy that's designed to rebuild your internal resilience. We're talking about your spiritual stamina. And this battle plan is built on 7 core strategies. I want you to think of them not as another to-do list to stress you out, but as a quiet arsenal of tools you can use for endurance. So let's open up that arsenal. We're going to walk through 7 scripturally based tactics for building the kind of stamina you absolutely need to lead effectively no matter what crisis comes your way. All right, strategy number 1. This one goes straight for that 3 a.m. anxiety. That feeling that your calendar and the crisis of the day completely own you. It's called the Daniel Protocol, and it's all about taking back your routine from the tyranny of your feelings. Now, here's the most crucial part of this. The scripture says Daniel prayed as he did aforetime. Get this, the crisis did not change his routine. This protocol is all about discipline over feelings. 3 fixed times, 3 minutes minimum, no phone. The sources we're looking at suggest that if you just practice this for 7 days, you can actually see a physiological reduction in your cortisol levels. Strategy 2 is for the leader who feels completely indispensable, the one checking emails on a Sunday morning, whose brain just feels fried all the time. This reframes rest. It's not a passive retreat. It's a strategic, offensive move called the Sabbath siege. And look, these rules are non-negotiable if you want real recovery. We're talking 1 full 24-hour period where you make 0 decisions. 0. No work emails, no Slack, nothing. Modern science has a name for this. They call it cognitive recovery. But here's the bottom line. If you don't schedule a Sabbath, your body will eventually schedule a breakdown for you. Okay, now for the leader who is incredibly busy, but not really effective. You know who you are. You're just buried in meetings, swamped by administrative noise. Strategy number 3 is the Gideon audit, and it is all about ruthlessly cutting the fat. So this comes from that story in Judges where Gideon sends 22,000 soldiers home to create a smaller, more elite fighting force. The audit for you is simple. Identify the 3 things and only 3 that only you can do. Those are your vital tasks. Everything else, that's the 22,000 tasks you need to send home. You have to cut, delegate, or just eliminate them. Your spiritual stamina demands focus. This next one, it targets a very specific and very painful moment, reacting in anger. Sending that late night email you immediately wish you could take back. Making an impulsive call in the heat of the moment. The Nehemiah pause is your circuit breaker. So in the book of Nehemiah, he shoots up a prayer in the tiny gap between the king asking him a question and him giving an answer. This is that prayer. Before you reply to that hostile email or that angry stakeholder, you take a breath and you whisper this for just 2 seconds. It's designed specifically to stop what's called an adrenaline hijack and prevent you from saying or doing something you can't undo. So are you constantly chasing the next win? Do you find you're never satisfied, always anxious about what's next? The Paul thermostat is about a radical idea, that contentment isn't a feeling you wait for. It's a learned skill. It's a muscle you have to actually exercise. The Apostle Paul said he learned to be content. So the practice is this: start your day by looking at your current reality, the good, the bad, the ugly, balance sheet, the political crisis, and you choose to rejoice in that state before you even start working. This makes joy strategic. It stops the external chaos from controlling your internal state. This strategy is for the leader who just feels spiritually dry, the one who's kind of forgotten their why. It's a simple, super tangible way to fill your mind with purpose instead of the 24/7 fear-based news cycle. The power of this is in its simplicity. You're not trying to find an extra hour in your day you don't have. You're just taking a single verse on an index card, putting it in your pocket, and reclaiming the gap moments, the 30 seconds at a red light, the minute you're waiting for an elevator, to meditate on something other than the crisis du jour. And finally, number 7. This is for the leader who is physically breaking down. You know, you're running on nothing but caffeine and cortisol. The Elijah refeed argues that your physical state is a spiritual issue. Remember when Elijah was at his absolute lowest point? God's first response wasn't some deep theological debate. It was a cake and a nap. The source material for this is clear. A sleep-deprived leader is clinically impaired. That means rebuilding your stamina has to start with the absolute basics. Eat real food, get real sleep, and for heaven's sake, turn off the phone. Okay, we have covered a lot of ground, but you know what? Knowledge without action is totally useless. This isn't just theory, this is a challenge. Your transformation from being fragile to anti-fragile, well, it can start tonight. Here's a super simple tracking sheet to make this concrete. Don't try to do everything at once, that's a recipe for failure. Just pick one daily practice and one weekly practice to start. The goal is simple, and it's physiological. Follow this for just 7 days and begin to lower the cortisol that is burning you out. And we'll end with this question. In this relentless pursuit of building resilient organizations, of hitting our goals, the ultimate question every single leader has to face is this: are you gaining the world at the cost of your own soul? This isn't just about leadership strategy anymore. This is about survival.